Welcome. Welcome. I'm all over the place today. I'm working like mad. I've just done part 10 of the Pure Energy Healing online free course. You can go and watch that. It's the video before this. If you haven't seen them all, it's good to watch them from part 1. Right now I'm really excited because I said a few days ago I received my crystals from Bali, basically the crystals that I've worked on primarily for months, and then they get shipped off to Bali and then they get mounted and then they come back again, so it can take a while. And I was so pleased, and this batch has for some reason just jumped my heart with joy. So I'm going to show you a crystal now that a lot of you already know about, but I'm going to do this video anyway because I've got them, and I kind of get this feeling that if I open a bag and there's a bunch of crystals there, put them on a tray, talk about them, and then that makes great videos. So I think the content is great. Hopefully you'll understand as a crystal healer, because you might think, who am I? I've been working on clients and well over 10,000 clients in the time that I was a healer, from 38 up till 53. I'm still young, feel young, and it's nice to be able to share that information then, instead of you listening to people who just talk about their information because they've read maybe a book by Julie Hall, or a few other videos that they've seen, and they just make videos and tell you all about crystals. But from my perspective, it's a healer who's worked with crystals on clients. So I think hopefully that might resonate with you more, and you might realize that books don't really serve the kind of purpose that you might get a crystal and think, this didn't work in that way for me, or you might do, but if you don't, it's not a bad thing. It's just that misinterpretation, or not really truly understanding the energy of crystals is really important. Because if I have a crystal and give it to you and say, look, I've dug this from the ground, here you go, this is what it does because I've read a book and it says this is what it does. If it doesn't work on you, you'll be disappointed and think there's something wrong with you, when in actual fact it might be working on a completely different energetic level. And because you're so fixated on that understanding of what somebody's told you it does, i.e. a book that you read, then you get disappointed, and there's this kind of energy of it's good for this, so I'm going to heal. Not always. Sometimes a crystal heals you on a completely different energetic frequency that doesn't to somebody else. I've explained this in videos many times, that the crystal always tunes in on the most important part of the block, issue, trauma within you. So if you're physically ill, it's gonna target that particular energy much quicker than anything else. It will work on that. It'll go straight to that source. And it's like healing. Healing is the same. Healing, when you give healing without a crystal, the energy that pours through you from source, or the energy around the world, or spirit, it predominantly goes to the place where it needs to be healed most of all. And it's not always where you think it is. So you know, the healing take place where the issue is, but might not be where your pain is felt. So it's fabulous. And I've always said X never marks the spot, or maybe it does sometimes, but predominantly if you've got a pain in your leg, that pain in your leg might not be where the X is. That's the issue. It could be completely different part of your body, and most of the time as a healer I can say, yeah, it is true. X never marks the spot. So what I used to say to my friends and people who used to come to learn, I used to say to them, don't look at that guy walking in here with a bad back, because you're going to then think you're going to work on his back and you're going to fix it. And 9 times out of 10, that isn't the issue. That's just the outcome. Okay, so where did the initial issue start? It could have been the shoulders. It could have been the neck. It could have been the ear. It could have been the head. It could have been the toe. It could have been anywhere. It could have been the knee. So, you know, oh, he's got a bad knee this side. Well, maybe there's a reason for that, and that isn't the reason, the knee. The outcome is the reason. I'll give you a for instance. If somebody is in pain with one side of their foot, the other side takes precedent and starts taking the weight of the other side, right? So eventually this side is going to start to feel a lot of pain and give way, right? So then you're doing healing on this knee when actually it wasn't this knee wasn't the cause, it was the other knee which was the cause, right? So fix that knee and this knee won't have to compensate for that knee. Oh, shut up, Mark! Get on with it! Sorry, guys. Okay. Welcome, dear. Scratch all that last line out. Pretend I never said anything. Let's start again, shall we? Hello, and welcome to a most beautiful crystal. The crystal itself is not a crystal, so you're all going to be spitting and fuming. It is actually a tektite which landed on this planet as a meteorite, but I still call it a crystal because it feels right. So it's my crystal. What is this crystal? This crystal is called tektite. There are many tektites in the world, but this particular tektite is from Thailand, Cambodia, and a few other different places you can get it from. But this particular one is black tektite. And for me, it's the crystal of, and it's the only crystal in the world that I have come to understand and see with my own eyes. It's the only crystal in the world that actually absorbs energy into the crystal and dispels it in a way that I don't understand as yet, even after so many years of working with it. To be honest, I don't care. I just know that it absorbs negative energy from my clients. Also, in the healing process of giving somebody healing, we breathe. And as we breathe, we can breathe in their energy. And as we breathe it in, we can actually put it straight into the crystal. So I'll explain that later on. But take a look at these. I call them bombs. Yeah, healing bombs. There you go. Aren't they gorgeous? Different shapes, teardrops. This is the size I like. So this is predominantly for healers, practitioners, and people who work in general public who are surrounded by negative people, family, real bad issues. So it's a nice big piece. It's not like a crystal, like this is a smaller piece, but look, it's a huge difference. So that could be mounted as a beautiful crystal, but this is how I would work as a healer. I would use one of these. Why? Because it feels good when I'm holding it. So it's around my neck and I'm holding it as I'm doing the healing work. So it's being absorbed into the crystal. I'll take it off me and put it on a certain part of the body as I'm healing a client. And then you can see the energy going into this crystal and absorbing it. Now, this was many years ago when I saw this phenomena and I mentioned it to many other healers. None of them really truly knew about tektite so much, but they tried it and they came back to me and said, Mark, there's something in this. It's real. It really works. I also gifted this crystal to a lot of people who were, let's say, predominant speakers. So they travel the world and talk to thousands of people. And I always got great info back saying, Mark, I did a talk in front of, 16 million people live. And as I'm talking to them, I've got the tektite on. My accountant wears one. A lot of healers that I know all over the world always wear it. Lots of people who go through a lot of pain and suffering wear it and always say, like I do, I always have one on. Always makes me feel like I'm not overcome with stress and negative energy because it absorbs it. So as soon as you build up any kind of stress, it automatically goes straight. It's a vacuum cleaner. It's like the sea. It's a vacuum cleaner for negative energy. So I absolutely love them. This is all I've got, but that's okay. This is fine. This is for practitioners or people who want to wear them because they're in a bad place at times when they have to deal with difficult people. So there is also something that I feel quite passionate about, and that is a lot of us tend to disregard our thoughts, feelings, actions when they are negative, in the sense of, oh, well, it's okay, it's just me, that doesn't matter. But I'm going to take more precedent in what somebody feels about me and says about me. Yet a lot of the times we self-sabotage our life and we have terrible feelings because of what we see out in the world, and we can then manifest them within us. So this crystal, I believe, is good for people who hurt themselves by their thoughts and feelings because they're extremely empathic. They feel very sensitive to the world. They feel terrible towards any negativity that's given to them by people saying things. This crystal is perfect for you if you feel that you are a super sensitive, and then all of a sudden you go into this mindset and it starts to snowball that you know, why me, why are they doing this to me, why am I, and then you get upset and you get stressed. This is a perfect crystal for you because it absorbs that energy so it doesn't snowball and get bigger and bigger. So like I'll give you a for instance, okay? Oh, that really upset me. It's in there, it's gone. Okay, that really upset me and it's not there. And because it upset me, it makes me feel like this and boom. And then you feel you just want to fall down. You just don't want to get up anymore till that energy dispels, which does as natural as it does. Energy does expel itself in time with Mother Earth if you open the doors and windows, but it's a slower process. If you go into Mother Earth, it's a quicker process. But this Tektite, for some reason, absorbs and keeps it away from getting bigger and bigger. So your manifestation of negativity doesn't manifest the same when you've got this on. It really is a balancer because it absorbs. So I'm going to talk about it again if you've never ever watched any of my videos. Tektite was a gift. It was given to me by whoever, and as I started to wear it, I started to feel better when I was wearing it. So I realized there's something in this crystal, and it took many years to understand all of these things. But in and amongst 10 or 15 crystals that I was wearing, in and amongst 100 crystals that I had on a table that I was doing my healing work, I was using them, and I found myself pulling the black Tektite every time it was something really heavy, really heavy. And I would always go predominantly to the stomach and the head, always there. And one day after a healing session, this was the profound moment for me to understand this. Crystals have energy which blast. They pulsate an energy that changes your frequency. Okay, so you become stronger, or you feel better because whatever that pulse is, whatever that energy, it blasts it away, right? But with Tektite, it was something else. After a healing session, I sit down, close my eyes, and then open my eyes again, see how my customer's doing, if she's still okay, if she's getting up, if she's doing this and waking up, right? I just leave her to it. But I'm observing. They've got a cloth over them. I used to put a pink or a purple cloth over them, and the wall was purple, so I could see very clearly energy. It's great for me. Purple background is a good energy for me to see their energy. So I'm watching this client, and I think, oh, I left the Tektite on the stomach. But now what I'm looking at is the residue of energy that's been lifted and going from them, but it wasn't going up and away and out of the skylight window. It was going into the stomach. And I'm thinking, wow, it's going back into the stomach. So I went over and lifted the crystal up and moved it slightly, and I sat back down, and I'm like, I can see really clearly. And from that moment on, I did it client after client, and I kept moving the crystal, and everywhere I moved that particular Tektite, the energy would go towards the crystal, because I thought originally that the energy was going into the stomach, the crystal was just there. So I'm thinking, why is it going back into the stomach? Then I realized every time I moved the crystal, it was the energy from the body was going into the crystal. So I moved the crystal like to the solar plexus, and then it was going to the or I move it to the heart chakra, it would go into the heart. I'm thinking, it's being absorbed. And it all made sense. That was it. That was the point where I get it now. I get this crystal. And I think for me, if I start to say, what does this crystal do? It loses its its magnitude if I start talking about anything else. Because for me, it's an absorber of negative energy. If I just say that, that should be enough for you to say, okay, I need one of these, or actually I don't need one of these. And I'm glad I know about black tektite because now I know what it does. So if you are a healer and you end up going to your local crystal store and you see a nice piece of black tektite, bring it back to your healing studio. Hold it in your hand, do a healing session with it in your hand, and just see what happens. And then place the crystal afterwards just on your client. Stand back, sit down, and just watch. And tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me where that energy goes. It's incredible. It's really incredible. I've had this confirmed by hundreds of healers over the years who have said to me, thank you for introducing me to this particular crystal. There is another crystal called lava stone, and that too is a brilliant energy cleanser, but it works in a different way for me, just slightly different. This is the crystal of absorbing negative energy. It is the most powerful crystal that absorbs, and the only crystal, in my humble opinion, that absorbs. No other crystal does that. All other crystals blast, blow it away, get rid of it, but don't actually attract the negative energy into the crystal. You would ask me how you would clean this crystal. I don't really need to clean the crystal. It works tremendously well all the time. When the sun's out, I put it out in the sun. Sometimes I'll put it in salt. Sometimes I'll put it in rice and just leave it there. Sometimes I'll just hold it. But does it need cleansing? In my years of working with this crystal, I have never had to cleanse this crystal. But if it makes you feel good, if you feel that you want to cleanse it and give it strength, then do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think all of those things are beautiful because your intention gives it more power anyway. So I love it. I love it with, this crystal works best with moldavite and herkimer diamond. This crystal works best with moldavite. This crystal works best, I said moldavite and herkimer diamond as one, but it also works best with as two together, moldavite and tektite. And now I'm starting to feel the benefit of tektite and the beautiful Libyan desert glass together. So these combinations are phenomenal. But this crystal works well with all crystals because whatever work's being done, if there's any residue of negative energy, it gets absorbed by the crystal instantly. So I think it's a great crystal to have. I think it's a must. It's a must. If you are a healer, if you haven't got a tektite, then I'd say you're missing out on something really special. That's my opinion. And I would definitely get yourself to your local crystal store and buy a good at least 3 or 4 pieces of it. You've got one in your pocket all the time. You've got, to finalize, the best place to wear it is lower down, belly button. Honestly, it's the best place because most of our issues sit in the belly. And they talk about these 2 brains, the brain of the mind, this brain, and the emotional brain in the stomach. Well, if it's emotional, it's going to hold on to a lot of negativity and a lot of issues and problems, fears, shocks, sadness, jealousy, anger, all of those issues. They sit down, I think, in the stomach predominantly. They all rest there. And that's why a lot of people have issues with stomach, and more so now than ever before. So what a brilliant crystal. What a brilliant, brilliant crystal. So yeah, I have actually got some smaller pieces of tektite that I'm going to work on and put on my website shortly. But these are predominantly for people who really struggle with negative energy and negative thoughts, self-sabotage, and people who have to be around people. This is for people who have no choice, whether they work with them or live with them, have to be around negative people. If you wear one, get it low down to your belly button. Trust me, guys, you'll see the difference. You will feel the difference. Okay. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this video today. This is the second video I've done today. I want to just give a big shout out to everybody and say to you that my videos might be slowing down a little bit because I am just about to start on the Pure Energy Healing course, which is live with me and Layla Sati. We're coming together to do a course, so it's an interactive course as we did at the beginning. The course which is on here, which is free, is me just doing videos, but it's beautiful. But this is a predominant course where you receive a certificate to become a Pure Energy Healing healer, practitioner, and you will be working with clients. So it's a beautiful course, and I'm just about to work on that now, and I'm going to contact Layla, and we are going to come together and we do the interactive lives on the end of the night, and it's a beautiful course. It's all set up perfectly. A lot of you enjoyed it. If you've ever done the Pure Energy Healing course, it would be nice if you could just give it a mention below here and tell us all how you felt about that course, and if you got anything out from it. Did you feel it was, it was a good course? Did it change and help you in any way grow to become a better human being, a better healer, a more understanding person? Just let people know, because this course is coming out very shortly. It will be on I don't know if I can link it up yet, because I have to work on it. It's going to take about 3 or 4 hours, and then we set up the new dates, so it will be coming soon. So those dates will be out. I'll link you up to the Pure Energy Healing. Yeah, I'll just put the link below, which is the Pure Energy Healing Academy. So that's www.pureenergyhealingacademy.com. So I'll link that up so you can have a look and see how this course actually works and how it compares to the free course that we're doing. So yeah, all right. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Let me get back to work. Take care.